Hello, my dear students or viewers. Well, actually, we have been learning about tense. In the last video, I explained you, I narrated about present perfect tense. Well, in this short video, we are going to learn about another kind of tense, merely present tense we are just going to discuss here, that is known as present perfect continuous. Present perfect continuous. Well, first of all, we have to understand what the present perfect continuous is. As this particular phrase points at the perfection with continuity, that's why we call it present perfect continuous. Well, this tense shows the beginning of work in past tense, past time, and its continuity in present time. थोड़ा सा हिंदी में बता दूं, इस विशेष प्रकार जिसे हम प्रेजेंट परफेक्ट कंटिन्यूस के नाम से जान रहे हैं, इसमें काम का भूतकाल में होना और उसकी वर्तमान में लगातार बने रहने की ओर इशारा होता है. Well, I just explained you the same in Hindi also. Once again, I say this actually particular kind of tense denotes the commencement of work in past and its continuity in present tense or present time. Well, like present continuous, it also ends with रहा है, रही है, रहे हैं. Okay? Somewhere we also get the ending of such sentences with हुआ है, हुई है, हुए हैं. But these sentences also include the point of time or the period of time. Well, we can also understand it with some examples, as just to frame or form affirmative sentences with once again the same he, she, it, any and any name in singular. We have to use has plus been. We have to add been also. Has been, have been. In present perfect, we had used has, have, then third form of the verb. But in this particular kind, known as perfect continuous, we have to use has, have, plus been, plus ing in the main verb. As we all know that, well, ing in the main verb shows continuity. Then just after that, we have to use one from, for or since, okay, before the time. The time may be in the form of days, months, years, etc. Now let's see. Let's understand the same with one or two examples. Suppose you have to translate वह 2 घंटे से व्यायाम कर रहा है. This is affirmative sentence. How to translate? And as you know that in this sentence, the time is also there. Time of 2 hours is there, and continuity is also there. It means that the work began in past, and it also continues in present. So how to translate this sentence into English? He has been exercising for 2 hours. Okay? Suppose we want to make a negative sentence with that, we can use not just after has and before been. For example, he has not been exercising for 2 hours. Okay? To form an interrogative sentences, we can use has, have in the beginning. As we all know, I have already discussed about it with he, she, it, and any name in singular. Well, we have to use has, and with I, we, you, they. If the sentence begins with any one of them, we have to use have, then been, then ing in the main verb. Then just after that, according to the time, we have to make the use of for or since. Okay. In this manner, we can frame sentences in present perfect continuous. And let me tell you how to form an interrogative sentence in present perfect continuous, or showing perfection with continuity. For example, क्या वह 2 बजे से कुछ प्रश्न याद कर रहा है? Has he been learning some of the questions for few minutes? For time, maybe any. Okay, so according to the subject, we have to make the use of has and have. Okay. Well, now one more thing we have to actually think about: when and where we have to make the use of for and since. As we all know that, well, we have to make the use of for and since in this particular kind of present tense. Without getting knowledge of the use of since and for, we cannot actually translate or speak out correct sentences showing perfection with continuity. As since, now let's understand when and where we have to use since. Well, since is used before fixed time. Since is used before fixed time. For example, 8 o'clock, 7:30 p.m., etc. Well, since can also be used before the part of a day. For example, since morning, since evening, since noon. We also use it before the name of the day. For example, since Sunday, since Monday, since Tuesday. Well, we can also use it, or we make the use of since before the name of months, since January, since February, since June, etc. Well, we have to use since before the name of the year, since 1993, since 2020, etc. Well, one more thing I want to share with you. Suppose the word like बहुत दिनों से, if you have to use this word in present perfect, बहुत दिनों से, we have to use since long. Okay, so since is also used before the word long, since long. Now for, actually well, we can also describe it like grammarians. Since actually since is used before the point of time, and for is used before the period of time. Okay, well, now let's learn the use of for. For actually use before the counting of hours. For example, for 1 hour, for 2 hours, for 15 hours. It is also used before the days, for 5 days, for a day also. Well, before the months, for 7 months, for 12 months. Okay, like years, for 20 years. Okay, not since 20 years, for 20 years, because 20 years is a span, a long span of time. So for period of time or a span of time, we use for. For fixed time or point of time, we use since. Okay, we also use or make the use of for before the centuries, like 2 centuries, and we also use before the weeks. Okay, or the counting of weeks, or before fortnight also, like for weeks. Okay, for a week. Okay, for a fortnight. So in this manner we can learn or revise the use of since or for. One more thing I want to share with you once again. Well, with how many, how much, which, whose, if we have to use one of these words, we actually use the subject with them. For example, I just try to explain you with one Hindi sentence. कितने बच्चे 2 बजे से यहाँ खेल रहे हैं. Okay, कितने means how many. How many children have been playing here since 2 o'clock? Okay, well, 2 o'clock is the point of time, fixed time. So we use since there. Okay, in the sentence. So what did I tell you? If we have to frame any sentence starting with whether how many, how much, which, whose, well, they are used with subjects as nouns. Okay, so this was about present perfect continuous. I hope you definitely might have understood it well. Thank you for watching this video.